Now, for people who listened last week, we had a big discussion around the Donut King party that Alex, because he's one of Australia's most revered entertainers, was invited to. Will and I didn't get an invite to the Donut King party, despite having given them, 5 weeks of free publicity? Where was our fucking invite, Donut King? Why aren't we invited to the court of the Donut King?
Well, I think, Charlie, we might have stumbled upon something, because I would say, firstly, if this is anyone's first episode of the show, go back 1 week and listen to last week's, because this is the conclusion of what was set up last week. But I think we've finally found the floor. Charlie and I have been enjoying this year the comfort of recording TOEFOP a couple of weeks in advance, so that we always have 1 or 2 up our sleeve. So if life gets a little hectic for whatever reason, there isn't the pressure on to do the show. But I think we may have finally stumbled upon the flaw in that system, Charlie, because if we were doing these episodes in real time, after the heat of last week's episode, there is no way that we wouldn't have been invited to this Donut King party.
So I've got some visual materials to share with you, Will. We charged Alex with some tasks when he got to the Donut King party, and one was to snap some photos. Yeah. So Alex has very kindly submitted these photos from the course of the evening. So the first one is the invitation, which he sent to me, which now I responded to Alex when he sent me this and was like, that is a very penile looking invite. Have I just been working with James Fosdyke too long, or do you look at that pink, wrinkly Donut King key? I mean, I assume it's from the key.
Well,
and see a
so
dick and balls.
I think it's quite important for the people who are not watching this, Charlie, that we describe what we're actually talking about at the moment before you leap into the idea that it's a giant dick and balls. I know that's very on brand for TOEFOP, but we haven't given them any picture of what it is we're looking at before you've just gone, does this look like a dick and balls? So, Alex, maybe Alex can describe to us, where did you get this key? Was this the invitation that came out to you? So describe what we're looking at for the people who are listening.
Yeah, so this is the invite that they sent out to us, and it is a large sort of
cock and balls.
It's a
Charlie. We'll get to the cock and balls, but it's a giant pink key.
It's a big pink key. Yeah,
to the Donut Kingdom.
City.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, to the house, to the Donut King house warming, I think is the idea.
Yeah, I think it was the key you were meant to put in the bowl at the end of the Donut King night, I believe might be what is happening here.
Now, do you think, like, considering what the branding of Donut King is, sorry, not the branding, but like, does a key make you think of like a royal court? Like, wouldn't sort of like I'd be thinking more of I don't know, like a crown or something like that. The invite should have been printed on a crown rather than a key.
Look, I think it was on brand for the event because they really went with this, like, it's Donut King's housewarming, you know, rather
Home
than
of the hot
being
city.
On a sort of royal kind of path. They've gone away from that,
right?
Which I think is a massive mistake.
It's the inner west. They're moving back in. This is like a share house party. Everyone's got a key. This is like a real inner west vibe, right? Like, there's probably, what I will say now that we're on the cock and balls of this giant key, because it is pink. And you can see, Charlie, why you immediately went to the fact that it does look like a giant cock and ball. Well, yes, you can. Particularly if you look at those, like the cinnamon donuts that are featured up the top in the round part. But because they haven't shown the whole donut, they're just cut off by the roundness of what would be the testicles. They look like stray pubes. They look like stray cinny pubes up the top there with this Donut King. I mean, not quite as jagged as your average penis.
And by the way, I should say for the listeners out there, we'll put all these up on our socials. So everyone can, as they're listening to this episode, you can just go back to our socials and just check in as we talk about it. But even the indentations of the key look like a wrinkled foreskin to me. Yeah. Like, and the way that the key ends, the peak of it is in like a cone, like a helmet shape.
There's definitely a helmet at the end.
Like, definitely we've been working with James.
Okay, now I'm starting to see it. All right. For a long time, I was just kind of going, geez, every time Charlie opens his front door, he must be, I'm holding a little cock here. And now I'm going, oh yeah, I can kind of see that now.
Okay, so this was the hard invite that was sent out to you. And as we discussed last week, like, it's very unusual these days that anyone sends a hard invitation. So you had to RSVP to an email and then they sent you this hard invite. Now, my understanding of the reason why you need like a paper invite is it's it's to stop people just sort of passing around or transferring invitations. Do you think that was it a security measure?
No, it was someone printed them and then realized that they didn't need them and they really wanted to send them out. They were not required on the night. It was just a normal guest list like any other party.
Oh, really? You didn't even need the key?
No, I didn't need the key.
Did
Very insistent.
Did you take your key? Like, so that's the bigger question, right?
No,
you didn't take
once
it with
I got
you.
it, I got it sent to my agent, and then I went and picked it up from them. And I was like, "Oh, I didn't need to do this. This was a waste of time."
Oh, you had to go to your agent to pick up the key.
Well,
that's a lot.
They asked for my home address, and I was like, "I don't want the king knowing where I live."
No, you don't.
Yeah,
I mean, the king's sending out keys willy nilly.
Exactly.
Suddenly there'll be a whole
He's
bunch of
sending
people
out dicks to everyone.
at your joint.
Okay, so there is a little inscription on the key. It says "Home of the Hot Cinnamon Donut." So we know.
Home. So
that-
I think
well-
home and house, there's a bit of a play on this. It's like, welcome to the home of the hot cinnamon donut.
And I reckon this is the only place that they actually say cinnamon, not cinny.
Cinny, right?
Cinny,
Okay.
they're really pushing the hot cinny.
They're trying to make Cinny happen.
They really
as
are.
we discussed last week, I just don't think we'll. Okay, so let's go to the next photo. Now, before Alex, you describe Will, what do you think you're looking at?
Vomit? Is it vomit in cups? Is it cups full of vomit? Did you go to this party and there were cocktail glasses filled with vomit? Because that's kind of what I'm saying.
They were coops. They were coops full of vomit.
It's like that old school. Didn't the ancient Romans wasn't like a part of like a debaucherous thing is to go to a vomitarium, like you fill yourself with food and then you all vomit together. It was like some kind of a party thing to
I
do.
believe they were called vomitoriums, and I believe that's not what happened at them, and that's one of those things that is.
You can see how people thought that, though.
I know, the name is misleading. So what are these? They're cocktails. They're donut cocktails of some kind, I imagine.
So this is their signature cocktail. So this is what greeted us, once we walked down this alleyway in Alexandria.
Yeah, okay.
Very
Actually,
dark
so before we get to
alleyway.
that, describe the approach. So
Yeah, sorry. We should set the scene a little bit more.
Yeah, so we got out of the car. We're in Alexandria, which is very warehousey and whatnot. And we walked down this alley. There's this woman at the end of this alley wearing sort of a pink jacket. We're like, well, we're in the right place, right? So she's in the right wear. So we walk down this alley, and it's like a dark, alley in the inner west, but filled with influencers with bright dresses. And blah, blah, blah.
Right,
And then at the end of the alley is just this door with pink light sort of emanating out of it. So we knew we were in the right spot. So then we get to the door.
much like a brothel, it sort of sounds like. I mean, the dark alley, like a red light in the doorway,
hot donuts. Yeah, exactly.
round, hot, warm things you can.
God damn, man. All right, so we get to the front door, and you get your name checked off, and then there are these cocktails, and they are. Last year, I had a look and saw what and I kind of thought, they'll do like a coffee espresso martini type thing, surely, right? That's usually the go, but they went with a Cine Colada.
Oh.
Which
it's actually going to be some vomit.
If you can't see it, if you look at the photo, it's sort of got cinnamon sprinkled over the top of let's say a vomit color, and then a mini donut, cinnamon donut, sort of draped in half in the drink, half out of the
like a prawn. Like it looks more like a prawn cocktail. Like a prawn,
it does look
looks
like a
little
cocktail.
Prawn cocktail.
What's in a pina? I'm just looking at pina colada regular, so I can.
This was very rum heavy.
Okay.
So it would have been rum, cream,
coconut, or coconut milk.
I did ask, but
oh my God.
Pineapple juice. So a pina colada is rum, cream of coconut or coconut milk, pineapple juice, served with blended or shaken ice. Okay, so that sounds fucking disgusting as it should be served, let alone like this island of Dr. Moreau fucking cinnamon donut mashup pina colada.
What were they? They were called Cine Coladas or Cine Coladas?
No, Cine Coladas.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they're real. It's okay. Cine Coladas.
They're really going for the Cine.
Have they got somebody to cover that old Pina Colada song? Was there somebody playing "Do You Like Cine Coladas" and taking walks in the rain, or have they missed an opportunity here?
No, they missed. I will say this: they missed a lot of opportunities.
Okay,
and we'll get to that. But I drank mine. My girlfriend said that it was borderline undrinkable. and took 2 sips and just had a sparkling wine instead. But I
But
was
you're like,
committed.
you know what? I played Shane Warne, mate. And what would Shane Warne do in this situation? Shane Warne would bloody
fucking
love a cine colada.
Did you dip the donut in the cine and eat it first?
Good point.
Well, it was already half in it, so it
Oh,
had
that's
and it
does
had been
seem to be.
soaking. It had been soaking up.
A
Oh,
soggy
so it's
cine.
all soggy and like I don't know what you guys are
It's
like.
actually the
but
best bit.
I hate it when I dunk a biscuit in coffee or tea and it breaks off, and then
Because then the biscuit's in the coffee. Is that what you're saying?
it makes me feel so sick when you find that your crumbled melted biscuit. at the
What if
bottom
you're
of your
drinking
cup.
your cine colada and there's a floating bit of random cine just floating around there? How does that make you feel? Some soggy cine.
Soggy cine?
That's what you do at the end of the night when you'll hand in your keys. You play a little game of soggy
Soggy
cine
cine.
just to finish off the night.
To see the full video, join our Patreon.
Patreon.com/Tofop.